Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on a Friday here in Melbourne. Because let's turn our attention now to cricket in particular. And for this team, the Melbourne Cricket Club, it was only about 4 months ago now. They just played their grand final. And of course, for the seconds 11 at Melbourne, of course, they got the job done against Ringwood in the Victorian Premier Cricket competition. And of course, we've got three very special guests joining us right now. Tell us a bit about that Premiership success, even though it was about 4 months ago now. Thanks all three for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Now, I will get all three to introduce yourselves and tell us, are you a batter or a bowler?
I'm Bree Sutton. I will say just a bowler most of the time.
Bree was also the captain. I'm Charlie. I'm a batter, although I do like to claim that I can bowl a few overs. But unfortunately, I didn't get handed the ball once this season. So, yeah, I don't know what that's about, but oh well, we can ask Bree.
Smart captaincy, I think, with that one there, Charles.
I'm Hazrat. I'm a batter and a bowler. I bowl a little bit of leg spin and bat as well.
Now, I know it was 4 months ago, but tell us a bit about the grand final against Ringwood, which was played at Beaumaris, which is your home venue. Tell us a bit about the game.
It was a pretty stressful game, actually, more so because of the weather than anything else. We did start by bowling and we were managed to bowl Ringwood out. Has took 3 wickets in that one. We also had Geordie Watson and Alistair would take 2 each as well. Good team effort to get that. We were delayed to start a little bit. Other than that, batting innings was quite interrupted a lot. We did have Charlie and Bridie off to a really good start, who are actually 2 of our original MCC players from our very first year, and they did get us off to a really good start. And then from then on, we just continuously had some intermittent weather, but thankfully we were able to get just enough overs in and get back onto the ground to with I think 5 minutes to spare to be able to claim the victory on the day, so we didn't have to come back on a separate day.
You did mention that. It was a pretty wild day, wasn't it? Weather-wise. Of course, it did eventually rain, but luckily, as you mentioned, you managed to get it all in before dark. I guess for you as captain, Bree, how stressful were you throughout the whole day, considering, the weather and everything else?
I think I can definitely put debating onto my resume from now on. Did have quite a few conversations with the umpires and officials and the other team captain as well. Wasn't really too stressed in our bowling innings, felt pretty comfortable then. But once that rain started to come down and we kept coming off and having to put covers on and trying to get all that organised and keep the pitch dry so that if the time came we could get back on the ground, that was all done. So, yeah, more stressful off the field than on the field. But we got there in the end, which is the main thing.
Now, you bowled Ringwood out for 116. How good was it from the bowling point of view?
It was a really, really good just all-round team effort from our bowlers. I think it was a bit more. I think it was closer to 40 overs that we had to bowl. Yes. Hazrat did play a really, really good role in that. Our opening bowlers did very well as well, Clem, Ryan Fuller and Geordie Watson. Geordie took 2 really, really crucial wickets for us to get us the ball rolling, you'd say, for our wickets. But yeah, all in all, just a team effort, that's all you can ask for in a grand final, especially from a fairly young team as well.
I think we took our chances as well. We didn't really, drop anything or miss out on any opportunities, so that was really good. We put foot to throat and rolled them for a good score.
Now, Israel, as Bree was saying, you bowled 8 overs in that grand final, 3 for 23. Now I have to ask, which one of those wickets that you took was the better one?
Oh, yeah, this is easy. I bowled out. I think it was Cassie Steffens that was a picture of a delivery. I think I still watch and don't know how I managed to turn the ball that much. Being a traditional leg spinner, have that change-up delivery ball from outside off the middle was pretty satisfying watching that.
Guess the batting, pretty straight. Well, you managed to get through for 84 at the end of your team's 24 overs. I guess you seem to be pretty in control by, I guess, most of that game, considering, well, except for the 3 wickets that you managed to, lose in the middle to around the 30s and the 40s. Tell us a bit about the batting side of things.
I'll let Charlie take most of this one. But yeah, as I said earlier, Bridie and Charlie, they're quite experienced batters. So they did play their role very, very well at the top of the order and got us off to a really good start, which is very important in games that are rain affected. We knew the score had been changed, I think brought down by only 1 run at that time. So they got us off to the start we needed. And then Hazrat was able to keep going with that score once she got in. Her and Geordie finished off really well together at the end to get us to the point where we were above what we needed to be in terms of Duckworth-Lewis.
Charlie, as Brie was saying, you and Bridie had a fantastic partnership at the top. 34 was the partnership before Bridie went out. Then you went out about 10 runs later. You had 16, 2 4s in that game. What was your thoughts about coming out to open the bat, and especially with a pretty shortened over rate?
I think I look at opening as, especially with the depth of the batting that we have, to try and not get off to a slow start, but also protect sort of number 3 and number 4, who are our really fast score makers. From their opening bowlers, and Ringwood have a couple of bowlers that really move the ball, and so yeah, I think my memory's a bit stretched, to be honest, of every ball, but you know, I personally would like to score more than 16, but I feel at the end of an opening innings, as long as I've protected the next batter from the new ball and from the opening bowlers, and I'm pretty happy. And so, and then Hazrat and Geordie sort of finished the job. And I also really I find important, if my opening partner goes out earlier than me, to make sure that I'm not, I don't lose my wicket too. We did do that in the grand final a little bit too much, but Bridie and I tried to keep ahead of the run rate, or at least within touch of it. I think we were ahead for most of it. And I think we had a bit of a lull after maybe Bridie's wicket, and then it picked up again, I think, once Geordie came in too, and Hazrat just sort of stayed steady the whole time. So yeah, and then it was frustrating because we got sent off and on and off and on. But I think something that was really good was that, you know, all the team members from our side and from their side and all the spectators all helped out with the covers and everything. And it was just a really good display of sportsmanship from everyone. And everyone really wanted a result that day. And I think we've just felt lucky that we even got a full season in as well, considering what happened the year before. And it was Ringwood who we'd played the year before, and then we got locked down and things like that. So I think, it was just it was a nice end to the season. A lot of sportsmanship from everyone involved. Yeah.
Ezra, you came in obviously with the 1 wicket down. How nerve-wracking was it for you, considering you were probably 50 runs away to winning that target at the end? And of course you got 24.
I was definitely nervous. So it was quite nerve-wracking actually, because it was sort of a game we hadn't really experienced before in terms of the weather, but like, it wasn't too bad because I was batting with Charlie, and I had batted with Charlie pretty much the whole season. So having that sort of, I guess, experience with me really helped. And also I think coming into that final, I had a pretty good game the week before. So that kind of gave me that little bit of confidence that I needed. But obviously I think finals cricket, anything can happen. And we did lose those quick wickets in the middle. And that was the moment where I'm like, if I get out now, it's just not going to be this, it's going to be really difficult for the rest of the batters. So I guess it was positive at the end, to be honest with you.
So Bree, as captain, how nerve-wracking were you when you lost, obviously you lost Bridie at the score of 34, and then you lost Charlie as well, and then obviously the other one, 2 quick wickets in the space of 2 or 3 runs, and then obviously you were the next one to come in at number
Sorry,
6.
Sorry,
Tell us
Bree.
how nerve-wracking were you?
Yeah, I was a bit actually. As I'm sure our spectators could tell you, that I was walking around a little bit and had my shakes going that I usually do, but a bit worse than normal. Yeah, always had faith in the girls that already got us that position and in the work that they had done throughout the season. Hazrat obviously had an absolutely phenomenal season with the bat and ball, but in this situation with the bat, so we definitely had confidence there. And Geordie had played this game that she'd never really played before up until the last few games of the season, and she really showed that she could be adaptable to all situations, and she was there to drop the ball and run and get Hazrat on strike or hit the ball if we needed to. So with those 2 players in and the depth that I knew that we had behind me, it was comforting enough to know that we should be okay and would be able to get over the line.
Who scored the winning runs? Am I assuming Hazrat scored the winning runs?
Well, it's kind of hard to say because we finished the game by just stepping onto the ground. We didn't actually have to hit any runs. So it was really, really interesting. Yeah. So Hazrat and Geordie were out there, and when we got taken off, we were ahead of the run rate that we needed to be, but we hadn't actually had enough balls being bowled to confirm it to be a game. So what we needed to do in order to win was literally just the umpire say, yep, this is safe enough for us to go on, step over the boundary line, shake hands with the opposition, and that was it. That's how we won. So it was the most unusual final I've ever personally been in, quite confusing as well. So we didn't have that moment where we've had in previous years and that kind of thing where you either take that last wicket or hit that winning run and everyone runs onto the field and that type of thing. So yeah, nobody really hit the winning runs, unfortunately. We just Hazrat and Geordie stepped over the field and Ringwood stepped over the fielders and the bowlers and that, and we shook hands, and that was how it went.
I don't know how I'm going to ask this next question then. How was it like when you obviously won the game, and and especially the way it ended? How strange was it, not just from yourselves, but for the opposition as well? Was it really strange?
All respect to Deb, who is the opposition captain. She was really, really upfront with just saying that we want to get this finished today. You guys have played so well. It should be called today. So that's like what Charlie said earlier with the sportsmanship between the 2 teams. You had 24 players plus support staff and supporters all run out onto the field to get it. Was all we had to do was step onto the ground. So lots of different emotions. Obviously we were happy and ecstatic that we won, but also very confused at the process.
So my question is, I'm assuming, Bree, you were the one who got to hold the cup there. I guess how good was it to hold a cup, even though it was even though it was a really strange finish?
Yeah, still obviously a very, very rewarding thing to do. We had an incredible season, and we've had many girls play through the seconds and go into the ones and come up from the threes and everything. So obviously very, very rewarding to be there. We got to send off Bridie Chesterfield, who was our original player. She's now retired, so it was her final game. So to be able to do that was obviously really, really special as well. But yeah, just to as Charlie noted to earlier, we unfortunately didn't get to play our grand final in the year before, obviously due to COVID restrictions. So to have that taken away from us just was that extra little bit too, to, be like, we deserve to be here and let's show it for the past 2 years, not just the past year.
For all 3, what does that premiership mean to all 3, and especially for Melbourne, obviously the club that all 3 have loved?
Probably for me, I had a bit of a change in my lifestyle last season. I moved to the country. And so I was commuting back. And so it just meant a lot for me because, you know, I put a lot of just from some work that I'd done to get to and from the games. And also that we'd missed out the year before. And I think with the lockdown, I know at least for me, it made me miss my friends and miss playing sport outside and miss playing cricket. And so I felt rejuvenated this season. And so it kind of felt like I was, just loving my cricket again. And it kind of felt like winning for 2 years, which we didn't. That's not how it went, but it just kind of felt like that. So yeah, it was special for me, this one, post-COVID, I think. Well, even though COVID's still going, sorry. You know what I mean?
For me, it was just quite special being my first premiership in Premier Cricket. And, you know, playing for Melbourne, obviously we're a prestigious club and we've got a rich history in the male side as well. And now we've got our own sort of photo out in the Albert. So that's pretty special as well. And like, you know, Charlie said, anyone that knows me, I love cricket, and not being able to play and train with, you know, the girls for the whole of winter and not have a preseason and anything and then jump into a season. So that was quite challenging, but I guess it was all worth it at the end, winning.
I can agree with both the girls there. It definitely was special for me in the sense that it was my first year captaining Melbourne, which obviously extremely prestigious club, and to have that responsibility here in a leadership role is just absolutely means the world to me. So it was really special in that sense. I think just the whole entire year for our whole club, we managed to win the club championship for not only the women's side but the men's side as well. So we had all three of our women's teams in the finals, and so to be there at the end and just show the competition that we're a club to, you know, the ones that are always up there and competing, and means so much to us to pull on the Reds every week. So yeah, to be there at the end of the season with the cup in our hands and our friends around us and our support team for the whole club is just, can't describe it.
Now being 4 months on and since that premiership, number one, has it sunk in yet? Number two, how long have you wore your medals around your necks for after the game? And did you sleep with it? And number three, I know you're not supposed to do it in COVID times, but did any of you kiss the premiership trophy?
Yeah, there were a few kisses that went around. We wiped the cup though after everyone, so it was completely safe.
I started a new job, and not many of my colleagues are very sporty, and so they were very impressed. So I brought my medal into work, so I enjoyed that. That was nice.
Oh, I actually had 2 sacks the very next day, so that wasn't very exciting there. But I think I took off my medal probably before I went to bed, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Which medal, Hazrat? You had 2.
Yes, I was going to ask that part.
Both.
Hazrat, I can see you're wearing your medal around your neck right now. Are you wearing both?
Yeah, so I got the message in that, but we had to wear them, so I wore both.
Would you like to show it to us?
Oh, I do. You can see them.
There you go.
Now, I have to ask, that's right, which one of those two is more important to you?
Both equally important to me.
You have to pick one. That was the question. You have to pick one.
I would say the team one, because if it weren't for the team, I would have done what I did. So
all three, it was a pretty strange year in the Premier Cricket, because I think you were the only team that finished in the top 2 that made the grand final. I think everyone else crashed out in the first week of the finals. I guess, does this premiership mean a little bit more, considering you were pretty much the only team in the women's side in the Premier Cricket that actually finished in the top 2 and made it through to the grand final?
I didn't realise that.
No.
But that's a good stat. That makes us even awesomer.
I think on that, it just goes to show how consistent our team was throughout the whole season. Like, we only lost, I think, 2 games. But but I think those two losses kind of gelled the team together even more and kind of just made us even better in that sense.
Now, how did all three get involved in the sport of cricket, and why did you choose it?
You can start us off, Haz, because you're the youngest, so you should remember.
It was only a few years ago.
Yeah, so when I've always liked cricket, but it was mostly with my dad and my younger brother. We played in the backyard a fair bit, and then I joined a thing called Milo Cricket, and from there I joined club cricket, and kind of just went from there when I was about 11, I think it was 11 or 12 when I first started.
Me, I don't really know. I started with my mates from school, which were guys. There weren't in my year level of primary school that we didn't have many females. So I was mainly just friends with the guys, and they were doing cricket. So I did it. And then I wasn't that good, but I liked it. So I kept playing, and I played in the boys team, and then I went to the women's team, and yeah. And then here we are, just a couple of years later, just a couple.
Yeah, I was, my family is extremely sporty. So it was kind of just enriched in me from a very young age, cricket especially, but all sports really. Yeah, so mainly just playing with my brother outside, out the front, and then joining Milo Cricket as well and filling in for his team a little bit. And then my dad called me up and said that the under 11s needed a few extra players. So I went down there, and that was a boys team, I guess you would say. And yeah, played my whole junior cricket there, and played at some women's team down the Mornington Peninsula until Melbourne started up, and made my way over there. And yeah, just a couple of years later we're here too.
Obviously, winning a premiership is one of the ultimate highlights, but is there any other highlights that stands out to all three of you?
I think just all in all, I mentioned before our club championship, and we couldn't have won the premiership without every single player on our squad, and without the help of our other captains and coaches. Obviously have to mention Tegan Parker and Graham Lay, Will O'Brien, Karen Rolton and Marcella Torre. They're just people that have always believed in us in the club and have helped us with our cricket and our personal lives. So definitely just in that sense, big standout to always have those people with us. Other than that, we've had 8 of the girls that played in the seconds throughout the year be selected in underage Victorian squads.
Correct.
So that's a huge hat off to them, and just shows the real depth of the club and how far we could go in the next few years. And we've also had a few girls be selected in the state squad as well, and we had 3 girls be selected in the team of the year, so for Victorian Premier Cricket. So it's just, yeah, it was a really incredible season, and hats off to everyone for their resilience through the last 18 months, and to get us to where we were. You can't go past just the entire club effort, I think.
All three mentioned right at the start what batter or bowling. Now, if you had a choice of one of the two that you mentioned right at the start, I guess, is there any other, would you rather be more a batter or bowler?
Well, I would like to be an extreme pace bowler, but it's probably not going to happen. Batting's way better, except when you get out for a duck, that sucks. But yeah. You can just hit hit bombs, and yeah, that's better. And then I stand in slip through the fielding innings, so it goes all right for me.
I like being an all-rounder, but I would probably say a batting all-rounder would be good, because the satisfaction I get with batting is I do get it sometimes when I bowl, but that sort of satisfaction is just when you're purely batting and you can't get it anywhere else. That's feeling of the ball hitting the middle of the bat. It's just something that's quite unique, and I don't think you can play any other sport and have that same sort of feeling. So it would probably just be a batter, and I can bowl a little bit.
really get that feeling of hitting the middle of the bat too often. So I'll probably have to stick with bowling on that one.
So, Charlie, you mentioned right at the start and now, just before, have you tried to convince Bree at all to be a bowler?
Yeah, I mean, like there's only so many arm swings I can do on the field to warm myself up to indicate to her that I'm ready. Nah, look, seriously, the bowling talent on the second 11 team, there was no chance ever. But I just like to pretend. I did have to keep a few overs this season, which was interesting. Yeah, so that happened. That was all right. But yeah, no, batting every day of the week.
So, Charlie, you just mentioned about wicket keeping. How did that go?
Yeah, not amazing. I think what happened, our keepers, some of our keepers were in the ones, right, and our keeper for the day went down with a sore shoulder, and she had an important game the next week, so they took her off. And then I think there was 8 overs I had to keep for, and I basically just said to the girls, like, you're not bowling any wides, none, no wides, because we're getting out of here as soon as possible. I'm not diving down leg, so there's going to be no wides bowled. And there were, so I got to yell at some people. And then I'm pretty sure I then went on to make a few runs with the bat, and so it was a bit of a good omen, I think.
You made 50 that game. Remember that game? We batted together.
Yeah. But yeah, I used to wicket keep, but I'm not in the shape I once was.
Charlie is a good keeper. She don't try and play it off here. She can keep. We didn't just throw her in there.
It's just hard when you're not practiced. And I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I don't like to be a bit average at it. So yeah, but I might do a few squats in the preseason just in case I am required again this season.
What does the sport of cricket mean to all three, especially being there at Melbourne?
Yeah, we definitely have spoken to how incredible it is to be at Melbourne Cricket Club and just to be enriched in that history. Yeah, I think for me personally with cricket, it was always something that was quite family related, and I've always got my mum at every game, and my dad gets to most games too, so it's always something that's really enriched in family for me, sport in general, but especially cricket. And then in saying that, just the girls that we have at Melbourne are your family in a different sense as well. So yeah, it's really important, and especially during these tough times to it really means a lot just to be able to go out there every week and to attend trainings with your other family, really. So yeah, it's sport does a crazy things to people, and it just really helps in all different senses of your life, physically, mentally, socially. So yeah, it's really important.
For me, it's just I'll use the example that, I've moved away. I'm living in Gippsland at the moment. And so people said to me, well, why are you driving back to Melbourne to play? And, why don't you just play down there? And I just wouldn't. Like, I just want to play with my friends where I've been playing for years now. And we've built this really good culture there. I'm not really interested in, I love cricket, don't get me wrong, but I think most of the reason that I love it is because of the people I'm around rather than, well, I love the sport, but it's the family and friends as well. So yeah, that's what it means to me. I just feel connected to it. I feel like my whole life has changed since I started playing there, 9 years ago now. I was in high school and I've gone through years of study, and now I'm working and I've moved away, and I feel like I've gone through all these changes at the club, and the club supported me the whole way, been really supportive. And so yeah, it's just important to me.
For me, cricket means a lot because I'm someone that absolutely loves the game. And coming to Melbourne has just kind of added feel to that. As Bree and Charlie said, that the friendships that I've made playing at the club are so valuable to me. And just, rocking up on Sunday knowing that I'm going to see this group of girls it's really nice feeling every week. And Unfortunately, we had training cancelled a couple of days, I think yesterday, so it would have been nice to see them again, but what can we do about that? But yeah, no, I just love playing the game and playing it with some friends, and always fun.
For everyone that should get involved in cricket, obviously for the upcoming season, which is coming up in about 2-3 months' time, what would be your advice to people that should get down to Melbourne and get involved in cricket?
I think just take the chance on the sport and take the chance on meeting new friends and trying something different. We can see over the past 10 years that Melbourne's been happening, but even before that, just the growth of the sport, nationally, internationally, it's incredible. It's definitely worth you taking that risk to see if you enjoy it or not. And the friends you make the whole thing worthwhile. So yeah, take that chance and head down to your local club or get in contact with somebody at Melbourne. We have junior academies and obviously our senior side as well. But yeah, take that first step, go to your local club or contact your school. A lot of schools have cricket teams as well. And yeah, it's definitely worth it, that's for sure.
Questions directly to Brie. Now, I know you don't just captain this team, but you do a heck of a lot at Melbourne. Now, obviously, I've seen it in action in regards to at the games. Now, you're not just a captain and all player. You also, I think, you're a coach as well in the 18s when Melbourne played in the 18s. And you do obviously do a fantastic one, all three of those duties that you do there in Melbourne and a lot more. I guess I know it doesn't go unnoticed, but what does that mean to you?
It's incredible to give back to the club that has given so much to you. So as you mentioned, that under 18 competition that started for us, it kind of started a season before that. We just started up our academy program with Anna O'Donnell and Tegan Parker head running that. So yeah, we had just started that the season before the competition. Which was incredible to get young girls down and have it under the Melbourne banner. So yeah, really, really important to be able to give back to the community and give back to Melbourne in any way possible. So to then be able to do that as coaching through the under 18s competition was incredible, because a lot of the girls that were in that side have played with us for so many years, and it's been incredible to watch their growth through the sport and their growth as people. So yeah, it was really special, and it was really special to me personally as well to be able to coach alongside Anna and Tegan, because I've played with them for the past 9 seasons, so coming into our 10th season now. So as Charlie said earlier, we've grown so much these last 10 years to get to where we are today, and to do that with 2 really incredible people and close friends is something I was truly grateful for.
Did you try to convince any of them to maybe join your seconds team? I know most of them played in the first with Tegan, but did you try to maybe persuade come to join you in the seconds?
Yeah, we try to persuade a few of them, tell them how much fun we have in the seconds. Our banter's quite good, I think, Charlie, but it's wherever they're cricket.
We're the fun team. We're the fun team.
We're the fun team, yeah. We like to say that anyway. But yeah, they're all incredible girls, and they've got a long way to go with their cricket. It's just, it's going to be incredible to see where the club goes in the next 10 years, to just see where all those girls go throughout the years. And I'll let Tegan take a few of them. I think that's fair enough.
I rarely ask this question, but I'm going to get all three to answer, which is, now we've got all three on the show now, but tell us a bit about, or I guess a very quick word on your other teammates, one by one.
Well, we did a quick note already to Bridie Chesterfield. So was an original player and is now retired. So it was really good to send her off that way.
Funny as well. Funny.
And good with the banter. Yes, definitely good with the banter.
Who else? We've got Campy.
Campy. Great pace on Campy. Campy's, what would you say about Campy? She's a bit of a life of the party, I'd say.
She often led our 3-2-1 Melbourne, which was good. She can yell.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah, her dad would always come and support as well, and we'd have a laugh. So it was good.
Her daddy's good.
Where's nine?
Vice captain Annecy Homburg, who was the keeper for that game, and she did keep throughout the season. Obviously, she shared that with Mia Perrin, but Annecy, her leadership and the change to her leadership in her game and everything the past few years has been really incredible to watch. So, she's going to be one to keep an eye on, I think, over the next couple of years as well. George Watson. Is that
she's TikTok famous, so she'll like
Oh,
that's enough about her. Go look her up.
We're going to get a few extra followers for Geordie. Took 2 crucial wickets as well. Clem Ryan Fuller, she opening ball for us. Siri, we call her. She somehow just knows absolutely everything, and has really, really, really good cricket brain and experience. She's been a captain in the second 11 as well, so really always good to have her on our side. Oh my gosh, still going.
Ella, sheer pace, serious athlete. Yeah, still developing some serious potential there.
Yeah, I think that was only her third, maybe even second or third season of outdoor cricket on turf. So she's played a bit of indoor, but yeah, outdoor. So she's one of the ones in the under-19 squad and will be really, really good to keep an eye on her, I think. Parry Jenkins.
Parry.
Okay. Parry's been at the club for, I think she came maybe our second or third year, and she is someone that if you want anyone on your side, you want Parry on your side, because you're going to have, she'll have you back, and she's just someone who you can truly rely on, and is one of those friendships at the club that has been like really, really important. Mia Perrin as
laid back. She's so laid back when you bat with her, like unbelievably laid back. But she's a star, and Absolutely. She can dance. We got a few dancers on the team.
we do. No. Jess Bond. Yep, she was the next one I was going to say. Incredible commitment, drives from Phillip Island every single game and training session. So if anything about that girl, you can't fault her commitment to the club and to her sport. Yes,
she likes to claim that if I miss field, she'll back me up, and she'll run fast and field and throw the ball in, faster than other people. So
yeah, she'll often beat Charlie if Charlie's at slip, and she'll be at deep square, and she'll beat Charlie around the ball that's gone behind the keeper.
It's pretty embarrassing, but it's all right. I got to laugh at it. Lucy was injured. She was at 12. She unfortunately had a back and neck problem, but she still got herself a medal, and well deserved, and she will play in a lot more premierships.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we've got everyone. I really hope we didn't.
So I'm really trying just to do a quick through my brain, but I think we might have got everyone.
The most embarrassing moment on the field this season, and what was it?
I feel like it was probably me, but I don't know why.
Yeah, Charlie actually got a run out where she was like on the ground and threw it. So it was incredible, but like embarrassing for everybody else to watch because it was so good, and it was Charlie that did it. So
it was a fielding miracle, and they didn't expect it from me.
It's the best I've seen you move, so it was amazing.
Yeah.
Now, who's the comedian?
Charlie.
Yeah, probably. I like to, I tell a few jokes and make everyone have a laugh. That's why we're there. Sport's supposed to be fun. It's competitive. It's supposed to be fun.
Well, you pretty much just mentioned about the best singer and dancer in the team, but and obviously Geordie's been TikTok famous.
Annecy's the best singer. Annecy's a good singer.
I would say our best dancer. We had a little thing, because obviously start of season, everything, when we sang the song, we weren't meant to have our arms around each other. So we would do a thing where we would obviously stand back and just clap, and we'd have somebody in the middle dancing. And the person I remember the most was Alice O'Brien. She just whipped out these killer moves in the middle of the circle, extremely unexpected. And yeah, so I would 100% hands down give best dancer to Alice.
Yep.
Now, talking about Geordie, the TikTok famous, did she try to get the team on board on this TikTok thing?
No, we weren't included.
I'm a little bit
Oh.
hurt. Yeah,
Yeah. No, not included.
not cool enough for it apparently. So we'll have to speak to her about that.
Maybe next season.
Yeah, maybe.
Now, do either of you have a pre-game superstition or ritual?
I wore the same socks every game.
Yes, that's a superstition.
Yeah, that's a
That
superstition.
is.
That's
Yeah.
the definition.
That it. And
I'm pretty, superstitious. I kind of have to have everything the same way, and there's probably too many to say for me, so we'll leave it there.
No, not me.
Charlie, nut.
No. All good.
Go with the flow. Easy
Although
going.
I have started putting in contact lenses before the game, and I found it drastically improved my batting, actually being able to see the ball. So I think that should probably become part of my permanent routine. But occasionally I didn't get up early enough to have time to do it. So yeah. But it did drastically improve my ability. So I'll do it next season.
How was the Premiership celebrations like after the win?
We have pretty much half the team are under 18. So
Oh, right. That's right. I forgot about that.
we enjoyed each other's company that night at Beaumaris, and we just enjoyed being around all the girls from the other team, the thirds and the first as well, coming down to support us, and which is the most important thing for us, really.
Yeah, it was very I don't really think we were in a position to really go out afterwards because it was a Sunday night and
That's right.
and we weren't in the city, but we actually, it was really nice just spending time in the club rooms, just us. It was really nice. Yeah, and it probably went on for a fair few hours.
Yeah.
So it was good.
You now thought about how to defend that seconds premiership?
Not really.
No.
No, we know that the depth in our club is absolutely incredible. So whichever players we have in the seconds week in, week out, if we just keep training and going about our cricket the way that Melbourne does, I'm sure that will put us in a great shape to take on the competition again next year.
If Bree could continue to win some coin tosses, I mean, how many did you win last season? One.
That's probably the most embarrassing thing of the season.
Yes, that's good. So
Yeah.
if we could win some coin tosses, then hopefully we can bat first, make some big scores, and then roll the opposition.
A lot of teams put us in first, which was super handy, especially when they put us in at Beaumaris. It was super handy. But yeah, we ended up playing 13 home and away games of the season, and then 2 finals, and I won 2 out of 15. So always room for improvement. As right, to win my last toss as well.
Yes.
So
All we wanted was to bat first.
my
all I
stats
wanted was that too.
in tosses, I lost no tosses in my junior captaincy career.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, watch out, Bree. Watch out. She's coming for your position.
I might just send her out for the toss.
Yeah.
That could be a good idea, I think. Send her out and then we might get one.
So Bree, when you go out to the toss, do you call either heads or tails?
I like to just do it in the moment. It was kind of hard this year though, because it's for your home games anyway, you have no control over it, because this season we weren't allowed to toss the coins ourselves. The umpires had to do it. A COVID restriction.
Yes, that's right.
So it was really, it was frustrating when you had no control because you couldn't toss the coin, and obviously you wouldn't call when it's your home game. So that's my excuse for the home games. But for the away games, I like to just do it in the feeling. I'm more of a tails never fails, but clearly it did fail quite often.
I chose heads, so you should do heads.
Okay, I'll take that
Okay.
for next time.
Well, all three, thank you so much for giving up your time to join us. It's awesome having all three on the show. Can't wait to get the season underway next season, and especially to get down to your first game, your home game, and obviously see how the season starts for the seconds. And let's hope by March next year that you can make it another premiership. I can't remember how many you're up to. I think it's either back-to-back or three-peat or one or the other. But let's hope it all goes well for the Melbourne Cricket Club in the women's side of things. And so hopefully he can clean sweep the competition in not just the seconds, but for the other two teams as well.
Hopefully. Thanks so much for having us and for your support.
Thanks heaps.
Thank you.
No worries. And of course, if you want to get down, of course, to the games, of course, they either be played at Beaumaris or the Albert Ground, one or the other. We'll put all the details up on their games once the season gets underway around October. There's more on the Smash Sports Show right after this. Don't go away here on the 10th year celebration.